where what is Core Financial Partners all about, and how some of the concepts we use have been life-changing for us and so many others as well. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is take copious notes. Certain things I'm gonna say, be sure to write this down, because it's concepts you wanna leave here tonight, regardless of your decision to have us be your consultant or not. You wanna remember for the rest of your life, because it makes that much of a difference. Just to share a little bit about our background, Latoya and I have 5 kids. We've been married, it'll be 20 years this year. We have 2 grandkids as well. We've been entrepreneurs for forever. All of her that hood. And we fell in love with entrepreneurship, and we're working with people. We believe in making a living while making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So in our entrepreneur pursuit, we realized in the middle of raising our kids that a lot of money that was made went in one door and went out the back door. And it was like discouraging and disappointing on our end, because when we decided to make a transition from one business to another, it wasn't enough to sustain us, and we knew that almost immediately. And so we was like, what were we doing with all the money that we were making? And I picked up a book after being more curious about how money works. And the book really was the thing that changed the thought process of how my relationship was with money and to be in the future as well. So after that, in 2007, we really just started digging into not just personal development as a whole, but digging into how money works and the relationship with money, how the economy works, and all those kind of things. By 2009, we dove into the industry, we got licensed, and for the last 10 years, this is what we've been doing. The first 5 years, we were still dabbling in different businesses, but over the last 5 years, it's pretty much all we've done. We might have something that is congruent with our business on what we do, but this is our purpose now, if that makes any sense. So I want to share some information that for us, when we learned it, we have mixed feelings, right? We was angry, but we loved the idea that we finally learned some information that could make a difference, right? And we became passionate on it as well. And I always talk about, what is passion? Passion is love and anger mixed together. You think about whatever you're passionate with, you protect it over it, you ain't gonna let nobody mess with it like your kids, right? But you're ready to spank them when they do something wrong, right? Because you love them, right? So this is how I feel about the financial service industry. And I believe most people will want to know the information that we share that's not being shared. And so I'm going to get into this presentation, and I just ask, if it's something that you really fully don't understand, you can stop me, maybe give me a hand up or something, and I reiterate it. If not, at the end, I want to really answer any questions you might have. So if you can write down questions, that'd be great as well. And we do a Q&A at the end. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're Core Financial Partners. Your goals is our crusade. We believe there's infinite financial possibilities when we are in the right position to get the right information. We have a mission, and our mission is to steer our clients for success through these 4 steps. And the first step is actually survival. Some people are in survival, some people are past that. But survival is living paycheck to paycheck. To get to the next step, you have to have up to 6 months of your income put away and accessible to you. And remember, I said it's accessible. A lot of individuals have money, but it's not accessible, so they now got to use somebody else's money to do what they want to do. Does that make sense? The third step to get the financial success you desire is having success, having financial success. That's actually having assets that create cash flow independence. A lot of us are taught to accumulate money and to spend it down in retirement. We don't believe in that. We believe at Core Financial Partners, you should buy assets that take care of you, not just the rest of your life, but generations after you as well, because assets that keep generating income. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least is the freedom, because you got time freedom, because the assets is taking care of you. Now you can now do things that you really want to do for those that you care about. You can leave a legacy, right? Who here desires to leave a legacy?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what our mission is to stair step our clients all the way through and up to significance. What is our philosophy? Our philosophy is that more money doesn't get you or keep you out of a financial situation, only financial education does. A lot of times we look at the education, and some of us go to higher education, but we're still missing in society, particularly in our country, but really it's global, the more research we do. The missing component is financial education. We get formal education, right? We get professional education, right? But we do not get financial education. So some of the smartest people that's on this earth still don't understand how money works. And so what Core Financial Partners has done is making it a part of what we do. We are really out there to put in people's path options when it comes to their money, to be more efficient. We believe most people's personal economy has this view to it. They're making money and it's going into their personal economy, which is the bucket, but what is happening to their money that's going into the bucket?
Leaking.
It's draining out the other end. It's leaking out. Unknowingly and unnecessarily. Unnecessarily means what? It doesn't have to happen.
Right.
It can be avoided. And you see there, debt, opportunity cost, taxes, and interest. Well, we believe people work for years just to find out you made $1 million, right? Just to find out you lost $1 million along the way. That's not a good feeling to know you could have kept the $1 million you made and the $1 million that you lost. And that's what Core Financial Partners come in. We make the difference in sharing the concepts and sharing how money works to bring money back to us, not away from us. The one thing I want to show you is we wanted your bucket to look like that, which is your personal economy. But in order to do that, let's go back to this. We know what debt is, we know what taxes is, we know what interest is, right? We all agree, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most don't know what opportunity cost is. And those that do know don't know how to apply it to their own life, their own personal economy. Most people learn this, one of the most taught concepts in corporate finance classes is opportunity cost. So let's apply that to our lives. Let's talk about that. Because to me, that's the center of all the other money flowing away from us. What is opportunity cost? Before we go with what opportunity cost is, opportunity cost is almost, we look at it as the opposite of accounting costs. Accounting cost is whatever it is that you're taking and exchanging your money for services or merchandise. You're separating yourself from your money, right? That's accounting cost. Okay, I see that laptop, it costs $500. Here's my money because I know it's worth that much. That's accounting cost. But what we don't account for is opportunity cost of that $500. So what is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is the future value of your spent dollars. What would your money be 10, 20, 30 years from now? Spent dollars. So what your money could have earned you in interest had you invested it instead of spending it. Spent dollars are gone forever. So let's look at the opportunity cost of $10,000. Let's say you could have maybe made a purchase of a vehicle straight cash. Or you could have did something like maybe invested it into a real estate piece of property. Or maybe you could go on vacation with it. I mean, an exotic vacation. But let's look at what happened. I hit the wrong button. Okay, let's go back to the camera, right? Okay. Let's look at that. Let's look at $10,000. Now this $10,000 is in financial vehicle that's gonna yield 6% rate of return. And it's gonna stay here for 30 years. If that $10,000 stayed here for 30 years, I'm gonna show you what the opportunity cost of that 10,000. And it's actually $50,000 more than the 10. So your account is gonna have in it $60,000 plus. Because you kept it in that account and did not use that money or separate it from yourself. What do most do when they have money growing in an account like that? They use it, they spend it, right? So the opportunity cost of it now has to be considered now that you're in this workshop today. Most of us, for us especially, we did not account for the opportunity cost of our money. We only accounted for the accounting costs. Is it worth it? We look at the blue book value. My wife was really good at looking at stuff online, consumer reports, to find out, is this worth my money? To separate it from myself. However, though, nobody ever taught us about opportunity costs. To see the value of our dollar and what it would be in the future. Okay? And that has to be considered every single time. And I just asked you, matter of fact, I begged you to do that from this point on. And if you do that and you remember that, that's a concept I want you to write down, opportunity cost. Put a star next to it. Because everything I'm going to go through going forward is all about opportunity cost. Let's look at how did it grow to $50,000? There's a formula out there called the rule of 72. You want to write that down. The rule of 72. Albert Einstein came up with this. His greatest accomplishment, if you ask him. He's dead now, you can ask. So, all you have to do to know how money compounds based off the interest rate is yielding is divide the interest rate into the number 72. And whatever number that is, that's how many years it takes your money to double. Here's an example right here. If you, this is not even doesn't mean any better. It's a little there. So 8 divided 72, any math genius in here? How many times is it? 9 times. So your money in an 8% rate of return is going to double every 9 years. Y'all see that? So if you had $10,000, what's your name again?
Hannah.
Candace?
Hannah.
Hannah? Hannah, if you had $10,000, this is going to double. What would double to? 10 double is what? 20, right? $20,000. In 9 years, you have 20. In 18 years, how much would you have? How much? In another 9, you go from 20 to 40, right? Another 9 years, it will be what? 80. Y'all see that? Who wants their money to double like that?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no question about it. That's how the rule of 72 works. Now, where do most people have their money saved?
Bank.
Thank you. Let's look at why that's not a good idea, though. Why we've been bamboozled, hoodwinked. Let's look at that. The average
Let us stress.
savings account return in 2018, we did a research at the beginning of this year, was 0.08. That's not 1/10 of 1% if you know when you do math, right? But in that same year, inflation rate was 2.44. So in other words, if you had $10,000 in your account, you would have earned $8 off that interest rate, and you'd have lost $244. So why do most people keep their money in the bank? They're losing, right? Because they're not getting this kind of information. If you look at $100,000, $80 it would grow to in 1 year if you get that interest rate of 0.08, and you would have lost $2,440 purchasing power of your dollar. So that's why we are so adamant and so passionate and do this with purpose, because this is where most people warehouse their money. If they don't want to go on the market and take the volatility, what could happen on the market, they put it in a savings account, a CD, or money market, all supposedly protected by the FDIC. Let's look at the rule of 72 from different rates of interest, from 2 to 15. Let's look at like 6% doubles every 12 years. You see that the math was done, right? Well, we're gonna look at $1,000 invested one time. just one time. And we're gonna see if it's invested one time at 4%, it's gonna double every 18 years, right? Let's look at how it grows if you did this. You do this at 29 years old and invested it one time and forgot about it, it would double 3 times and it would end up $8,000 in your 80s. Y'all see that? Not bad, right? For you to put away something and forget about it. Let's look at 2 more points higher than 4%, which is 6%. Your money's gonna double how often?
Seven.
4 years.
9 years, right? Let's look at that.
No, you
That
said
makes
six.
sense.
6%.
Yeah.
So that's every 12 years, I'm sorry. Open book for me, right?
Yeah.
So every 12 years in your 80s, how much do you have? 32,000, right? 32,000. And how many more points was it? Just 2 more points. But this is what happened in that time period. It was able to cycle 2 more times over. 8 went to 16 and 16 went to 32. As subtle as that, look how powerful and how much more money you have in your account based off 2 more points. Who would ever thought that it worked that way? Right? Let's look at 8%. How much do you have at 8%? 64. It only doubled 1 more time though. But look how much it is from 4 to 8. It's 8 times more. Isn't that amazing? Where would you want your money? Right?
Yeah.
Let's look at 12. Where most people warehouse their money in banks, who knows banks don't make the 1% they give up? Who knows that they probably earn in double digits, right? Let's look at 12%. Let's look at 12%. 12%, $1,000 invested how many times?
One time.
Right? You left it alone, forgot about it. In your 80s, how much do you have?
$500,000.
You have over $500,000. And you invested $1,000 one time. I have to repeat that. It still is amazing to me. But the caveat to this is that you see that word up there? What that says? It's uninterrupted. Because what most people do, we talked about on the other slide, they earn their money, and let's say right around 50, you got 10 grand in there. Don't our fingers and our hearts and minds get itchy? They want to spend that money. Right? They need a new car, they want to go on an exotic vacation, they want a new house, they want to improve.
Well, life just happened.
Well, life just happens. Something you can't help but use the money,
Yeah,
right?
like new furniture.
And if you interrupted and you said, look, later on I'm gonna pay it back, do you think that they still gonna have $500,000 to take it out and put it back 7 years later?
No.
They started the compounding over again. Wealth is created when it's uninterrupted and it's compounded. And that's what most people don't understand and don't do the opportunity cost of their money. Because right now, when they took the 10 out, they lost opportunity cost on 10. And they try to put it back, but the years they took to put it back, it lost the velocity of what it was going to do, and they luckily have $250,000 in there. How many people do you think would want to know how that works? Everyone should, right?
Yeah.
Here's another problem of money leaking out the bucket. We went over opportunity cost. The other problem is interest, debt. The average household has 34% or more being paid out in just finance costs. So if a household earns $100,000, on the average in our country, $34,000 of that $100,000 is being paid out in finance costs, interest costs. And it's broken down into categories where it's happening at on percentage-wise. Let's look at interest when it comes to credit cards. Who here knows someone that has a credit card? You know some people that have credit cards as well?
Cool.
Just about everybody. I know. We were guilty too. Right? And if you don't, and you're here today or you're listening to this recording, you want to understand it so you can run away from it when somebody offers you a credit card. Okay? Especially anyone that's young and they're on their way to building a future, a financial future. Here's $10,000 credit card debt. And by the way, the average household holds on the average about $15,000 of credit card debt. And it's not holding it, they revolve it. So This person's credit card interest rate to pay the money back is at 18%. But opportunity cost is on the interest that they're paying out because it's unnecessary. It could be avoided, right? Y'all agree?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give you the calculations on if they kept that money in their account growing at 5%. So let's look at how much interest they're paying by revolving their $10,000 credit line for 40 years. In 20 years, they would spend out $40,000 just in interest costs. We haven't touched principal yet. In 40 years, they would end up paying out almost $80,000 in interest costs just by revolving $10,000 of credit line. Do we know someone that does that, pay it down, and then build it back up? Get happy, pay it down, even go celebrate it, and then we go back to
Celebrate. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely we do. Come on, let me take you out. I got some money. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
So here we go. The second line here is going to represent if you'd have kept that money in your account versus giving somebody else that interest cost, how much would your money have grown to at 5%? Here we go. At 5% in 20 years, it would have been $65,000 in your account. This is interest that your money would have grew from if you didn't give the interest to the bank. In 40 years, you'd have had $238,000 in your account by not paying interest to somebody else. Who here is mad like I was?
Passion.
That's right.
Wow. That's crazy.
If you have the right perspective, it's going to be passion because you're angry, but now you love the idea that you know now. Who mama was like my mama? If you know better, you ought to do better, Tony. You with me? So we got to do better. We really do. We're giving our wealth away. This is giving wealth away. A lot of the people we believe, and that was us, we believe we need to make more money to get wealthier. No, we need to get smarter. Financial education, raising our financial IQ. That's how we get wealth. Look what happens when the bank are receiving the 18% from us. This is average. It can be as high as 24 to 26%. Who's seen that before? Or know someone that's paying that kind of interest, right? Store cards, right? And it can be as low as 12. 18 is the average. The banks are earning in 20 years off the 18% interest cost at $355,000 they're going to earn. And in 40 years, they're going to earn $13 million off a revolving credit of $10,000 for 40 years.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I said, Mr. Jordan? Can I be the bank, please?
Yes.
Can I be the bank?
Wow.
How do I get that kind of return? When someone's looking at the map, it's the rule of 72. Divide 18 into 72. Less than 4 times your money's going to double.
Wow.
Less than every 4 years. That's why it's 13 million. It's math, not magic. Okay?
I like that.
Now let's look at, okay, if I'm not going to be using credit cards, what would be the best way for me to get my major capital purchases met? Because you said if I spend my cash, I lose opportunity costs. What is the best way for me to take care of my future? The things I have to do. There's the 3 options. And depending on your money personality, your relationship with money, it determines how you're going to approach that. And let's look at those 3 ways and see which way, where you are, more importantly, where you want to be. What is a major capital purchase? Is anything that monthly income after taking care of your responsibility is not enough left over. You got to go into next month or previous savings accounts. Savings account from the previous month you saved to take care of that thing, right? That's a major capital purchase. Your monthly income after all the expenses have been taken care of is not enough to take care of something. You normally save or go into your investments accounts to take care of it. So let's look at that. What's the first option? What's the first option? You can be a debtor. A debtor is someone that's going to work to spend. They're going to not save money. They're going to earn interest. They're going to pay interest for everything. They also borrow from and make payments to the lender at the highest market rates. A debtor uses future earning potential as collateral. This is a debtor. You know anybody like that? Let's look at the saver. This person don't believe in owing anybody anything but to love them. They've been taught that way. A lot of times their parents kind of raised them not to go into debt or finance anything, if at all possible. So what they do, they save to avoid paying interest, they earn interest, and they pay cash for everything though. They'll drain their account in a minute. And they borrow from stuff, and they reduce the collateral position, and they reset the compound of their money. Remember that $1,000 that could have been, was a $500,000, but if they interrupted, they restarted? That's this person. And they make payments to stuff, and they give up the interest that money could have earned them. This is the Savior. What about the wealth creator? How do they take care of their major capital purchases? They say they use OPM to maximize efficiency. They earn compound interest. Oh, by the way, anyone can tell me what OPM stands for? You know what OPM is? You know? She said no. You know? Other people's money.
Other people's money.
It's a wealth concept. Wealthy people know it very well. They earn compound interest, they collateralize purchases, they borrow from lender at negotiated rates, they use their own money as collateral. Their money continue to earn uninterrupted compounding. They make unstructured, flexible payments to lender, maximizing the benefits of a private family bank. Here we go. How can we be the bank? How can we get that 18% give or take return? Right? What's the problem with being a debtor? Let's go back to that. The problem with being a debtor is you have obligation on your future earning. You lose capital to purchases, the finance costs forever. And you're a slave to the lender and loss of control. Let's look at a graph. This graph is going to really help out when it comes to visualizing what is really going from a perspective of a debtor. I like pictures. You ever heard a picture tells 1,000 words? This really is going to do that. At least for me it did. Let's say someone is right here and they need, want to desire something. Right here, this black line with the dots is a zero line. If they need something, a debtor is going to go into debt because they didn't save any money. Remember, they don't save. So they finance everything and then they go get an amortization schedule to pay it back off. So that amortization schedule give the monthly payments to us down to zero. But after they get it back down to zero, we said it earlier, what do they turn around and do after that? They do it again. They can pay a car off, they can pay their loans down, personal loans or credit card down, whatever it might be. And they do it over and over again, 10, 30 years. This is what their life looked like. At the end of their working years, what do they do with all their money?
Went back to zero.
Spent it back into paying finance costs. At least 34 to 35%. So they didn't have a chance to accumulate wealth all those years which was their best working years. Consumer debt is an inefficient purchasing strategy. The initial purchase is lost as well as the interest owed, causing to further lose that compounds far out of control. All right, the saver. Let's talk about the saver. What's the problem with saving? You first got to save the cash. And there's no problem with saving cash. That's the first principle of accumulating wealth, to not spend all that we make. The problem comes in is that you have to share your money with Uncle Sam. It's the laziest uncle that we all have that is at payday with you every single payday. And then you must drain the savings tank to take your purchase. You got to take your money out to make your purchase. And this is their personal economy. Their zero line starts at the bottom. But if you notice, it's just the opposite of a debtor. They save their money and spend it down, all cash, whatever they buy. And then they build it back up again. Spend it down with all cash. And they do that for 10, 20, 30 years. And look here, by the time they retire, what happens to all their money? They gave it away. Opportunity cost them all their money. Right? To me, if you look at that, it's just like a reverse debtor. They're almost the same person. And I've had people that looked at this that were savers and really was at fault. I'm blown away. But numbers don't lie, right? This is what it looks like and this is what it is. Opportunity cost. My mentor said this to me. He said, Tony, you finance everything you buy. You either pay interest because you use somebody else's money, or you give up interest because you gave up your money. Both of them are the same. And that's where it clicked for us. Latoya and I was mad, angry. You lose the interest you could have earned had you not drained your savings tank. This is meant by opportunity cost. This is meant by what opportunity cost is. What about the wealth creator? They maintain liquidity, use and control of their money. Most Americans borrow because they have to. Wealth creators borrow because they want to. Look at their graph right here. This is their zero line right here. Their money is going up and to the right, no interruptions, and is growing away from them. What I mean grow away from them is accumulating more and more cash. Because they're not separating themselves from their money. They're using and leveraging somebody else's money, or leveraging their money using somebody else's money. Okay? And that allows them to grow their money uninterrupted. If you want to write anything down, write this definition down of a wealth creator. Compound interest earns them more than amortization interest costs them. This is the heart and the heartbeat to private family banking.
Yes.
That definition I just told you. Anyone can become a wealth creator. Once they gain the right philosophy and strategy, it then takes the steps to do so. Okay? Here's another graph right here. Did we got that? Y'all good? Everybody's good? Here's another graph right here. This one is one of my favorites because it's going to tell you the difference between a wealth creator and a saver. A wealth creator does not interrupt his money by using his money to make a major capital purchase. A saver does. They take their money out and use it to buy whatever. Both these individuals are going to save the same amount of money, which is $5,000 a year. They're going to do it consecutively for 30 years in a row. But every 5 years, a car purchase is going to happen. Saver does it his way, wealth creator does it his way. After the 30 years, the wealth creator is in the green. He has $353,000 in his account. The saver took his money out and spent it away from himself, and he has $71,000 in his account right here. The difference between the two strategies is $282,000. Which way would you rather buy cars? Save money and leverage your money. Right?
Yeah.
If we didn't get it off on the previous slides, we have to get it here. Because this is a game changer to see it this way over time and doing it over and over again. Now I want to give you an analogy and a story of the best financing practice in purchasing a vehicle. Because that's something that most adults do in America on a regular basis. Every 4 to 6 years, most households purchase a new car. Okay? So this is going to be someone purchasing a car methodically every 4 years. They will do it for 44 straight years. If they do that, that's 11 vehicles they purchase. If they do one every 4 years, they're going to spend $10,550 for each vehicle. So let's look at the 5 options they have in purchasing a vehicle. The first option would be they can purchase them by leasing them. If they lease all 11 vehicles, they would have spent close to, give or take, around $175,000. What do you have to do once you lease a vehicle and the lease is up?
Return.
You gotta return. Unless you opt to pay more money into it and buy it. The next option would be you can actually finance it. About 90% of Americans finance their vehicles. They go to a bank or they get the dealership, they give them some kind of financing for amortization schedule to pay that car off. This person would have spent $137,000 for their vehicles. $137,000. More efficient than leasing, right? What about the third way? The third way, if you finance all 11 vehicles, you would have spent $116,000. This is the person who said, I don't want to owe anybody anything but to love them. What about the fourth way, the CD method? What do you see different about that way?
It's actually not a negative, it's a plus. No,
I'm sorry, what was that, Mom?
it's plus, not negative.
It's not negative. They have bought vehicles the same way the others did, 11 of them. However, their strategy allowed them to have over $250,000 sitting in their account, and they spent the same money to buy the cars like the others did. LaToya and I have been doing this over 5 years now, sharing this, and only one person that we know of that we've ever been in front of, and we've been in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Only one person knew about that way and was using that way, practicing that way. Just one person practicing the CD method way. How many of us been in the bank in our life, in our lives at one time or another?
Yeah.
We're not like R. Kelly, never been in the bank, right? Did y'all hear that? He never been in the bank until recently?
Right.
Okay. What do you see different about the fifth way?
You get to keep definite more, or everything.
$700,000 more than the CD way. I repeat that, $700,000 more than the CD way. And this way, out of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that we shared this with, not one, and I mean not one, even people in the industry that we're in, did not know and know how to practice this one way. The private family banking way is amazing and life-changing. You almost have $1 million in your account after purchasing 11 vehicles. Let's look at how this happened. Between the last two, it's important that I share with you how they work. We're going to give you a tale of two twin sisters. If you notice, they're twins. Twin sister A is going to use the CD method. Twin sister B is going to use the private family banking method that Core Financial Partners actually shares. Sister A is actually going to fund her account with $5,000 a year, which is $416 a month. So a little over $100 a week she's going to save. That adds up to $5,000 a year. She's going to do it 7 years in a row and fund her account before she buys her first vehicle. So far, her sister B is going to do the exact same thing. Both of them has taken their money and filled up their accounts with $35,000 in 7 years. Everybody follow me? And then they're going to do their accounting and see that their money grew a little bit because of the interest the CD paid them. They have $41,000 over here for Sister A. Sister B has right about $36,000. But the difference is because Sister B, she has started her own bank. She partnered with a financial institution, started her own bank. Whoever heard is a cost to be the boss, right? When you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking like an entrepreneur and you're thinking ownership, it costs more to be in that position, right? And that's the situation over here. Let's look at what they've done now. Sister A, she buys her first vehicle. And when she buys her first vehicle, oh, by the way, remember she funded their account, both of them, with $35,000 of their money. Remember that? That's their principal. They're not going to add another dime, but I want you to see what's going to happen at the end. They just stopped funding it at $35,000 for 7 years. Keep that in mind. But Sister A decides to buy her first vehicle for $10,500. She says, look, I'm taking this money on my account, but I'm going to do something unique and different. I'm not going to act like I'm free and clear of a note. I ain't going to put myself in a financing mode and finance it. I financed it from myself and I'll pay myself back. So her doing that, she put a 48-month note together, which adds up to $252. But in that, she added 10%. So the $252 is the 10% that's in there as well. But it adds up every year, $3,030 she's paying back to herself, and she's going to do it for 4 straight years. So $252 times 12 is $3,030. Everybody follow me? She does it for every car, every 4 years. So far, Sister B has done the exact same exercise. Everybody follow me so far? And remember, she just recycling her money. She didn't add another dime after the $35,000. Car 10, car 11, 44 years went by. She bought 11 vehicles. She's gonna do her accounting now. In her accounting, she purchased she used $116,000 to purchase the 11 vehicles. The interest that was paid into her account and the interest she paid to herself, in addition with the CD paid her account grew $141,000 in interest. Everybody see that? Altogether, she has $258,000 after 44 years. So she's probably in her 60s now. Everybody follow me?
Right.
Sister B, her purchase 116 the same as Sister A. However, her interest grew in her account at $847,000. And the difference in these two accounts is $700,000 based off of strategy. Let's look at it and see how. With Sister A, she was able to pull out $50,000 a year. However, though, in 5 years, who sees that her money ran out? Right? This is what's happening to most people in our country. Most people are overestimating how much their money is going to last them in retirement. She went broke in 5 years and she's been cited as a greeter at Walmart. Bad joke, but it's true. Go to Walmart today and it's at the doors. Right? And so she had to really start all over again in a sense. Sister B, though, she was able to pull out $650,000. She passed away in her 80s, 20 years later. She still was spending money. She passed away. She used up 2/3 of her money and still left behind $1.3 million to her estate. And let's go back here. How much did she add to her account in the beginning?
35.
$35,000. How much did she have at the end? Almost $1 million. Who here want to know how to grow money like that?
Oh,
And
yeah.
still work hard in the interim as well. And left behind to her heirs $1.3 million. Let's finish it up on this. What happened with Sister A? The shareholders of the bank she had her money at invested the money and the time to start their business. Thus, profits earned by the bank went to the shareholders, not Sister A. With Sister B, though, as the contract holder, Sister B invested the time and the money to start the business. So profits that was earned by her, profits was earned by her in the form of a contract, and they paid her with dividends. They paid dividends to her because she was a partner. But if you look over here, with Sister A, she earned no dividends. She was not a partner, and she had to pay taxes because she was in a traditional bank with capital gains. Uncle Sam gets a piece of that as well. With Sister B, she earned dividends because she was a partner with the financial institution, and she didn't have to pay 1 penny in taxes. Y'all remember the bucket in the beginning? Taxes is the biggest hole in most people's personal economy. I talked about interest going out on people's personal economy at 34% per dollar. How about taxes is about 45% per dollar? Is being paid in taxes. You got income taxes, you got capital gain taxes, you got gas taxes, you got a water tax, you got taxes go across the bridge, you got tax all over the place. 45% of our income goes to taxes. So here, Sister B understood that, and she put herself in a position at least to avoid one of the taxes, which is capital gain taxes and withdrawal taxes. And that's the tell of the story of Sister A and Sister B. Which one do you want to be? Sister B, right? It's a slam dunk. And you know what? I think most Americans would settle for being Sister A versus being one of the other 3 options that we showed you in the beginning. Think about that. I would have took Sister A before I found any of this out. At least she had $250,000. Everybody else was in the negative. And what's crazy about it, it's the same banks we go to bank at every single day. That the bankers showed the one person that did use the CD method, somebody pulled them to their office and let me show you what the wealthy is doing as far as buying their cars. They're using the bank method. So those wealthy people don't know this way, because they would've did it this way. But at least he got showed to, or shared with, one out of millions that don't get ever hear about this. There's people that work at the bank don't even know how this works. What is private family banking? Which actually was exercised by Sister Big by working with Core Financial Partners. Private family banking is just simple. It's the creation and utilization of a pool of money that's controlled by a private individual. Hence the word private. The banking business is all about controlling a pool of capital that can flow at a cost to meet some need. The key point here is that the one who puts the money in owns the bank. And the one who owns the bank is the one who received the profits of the bank. Sister A didn't own the bank, so she couldn't receive no profits. She only received interest. After taxes was taken out on top of that. So she received profits and she avoided taxes. That's why it was a $700,000 difference. This is what it looks like, private family banking. This is an individual accumulating money monthly or annually into an account like this. Y'all see that? Let's say your sister B, you have $40,000 in here after 7 years. And you will want to buy a car with your money. If you took out 10 of 40 from 40, how much that leaves you in your account earning interest?
30.
Easy math, right? Now, after understanding opportunity cost on 1,000, would you want to lose the opportunity cost on 10,000?
No.
Not at all, right, Mama?